what we're going to get into today is working with this energy because it truly is happening for a reason on an evolutionary level. I consider this one of the most in this month of sort of starting now and going through these two eclipses and going all the way till the end of April. This next 5 weeks is one of the most important stretches energetically that I've seen in the last 20 years. The eclipse that's hitting tonight, even though it's part of a larger spectrum. But the one tonight, and I was mentioning it on some of the earlier calls, is it's happening at, when you round up the degree, it's happening at 6 degrees Libra. What's beautiful is that it makes a trine, it makes a beautiful angle over to Pluto, which is the planet of death and rebirth, and it's the planet that's sacred to the goddess Kali, which means that there's an opening that is an encouraging opening for transformation. When you get an eclipse that's trining Pluto, it's really like the universe is at your back saying, if you are ready from the inside out to let something go, to let something transform, to release certain energies that have, in your heart have been holding you back, limiting you, stifling you, that trine from Pluto is like just a cosmic gift saying all the help is available for that to happen. And a good way to view an eclipse like this, because it's in Libra, it's a full moon, so it's falling across, even though it's a lunar, all lunar eclipses are full moon, so it's falling across the axis with Aries. So it's really about the dichotomy between self and others. So especially if you've been a person who's had a tendency to people please, a tendency to be overly concerned with the opinions of others, to over adapt, to over accommodate, to not set healthy boundaries, to value others over yourself, to give power to somebody else, to project your own power onto, not all this obviously could be lovers, but this could be to project your power onto a teacher, to project your power onto a celebrity or onto it could really be a therapist or any situation where there's been a difficulty in owning the power on the inside and instead projecting it outward and then becoming addicted or um, desperate for the attention of the other. This is what this eclipse is I want to say partly about, because it's about many things, but that is a really, really key part of it. And because it's a lunar eclipse activating what's called the south node of the moon, it's ruling the past. It's ruling sometimes these very ancient past life connections where you've done the same pattern with somebody over and over and over. But it also doesn't have to be just about a single person. It could be about a way of being where you can feel in your own heart, this is done. I don't want to live like this anymore. And when you look at this eclipse combined with the one that's coming on April 8th, which we'll talk about the next time we meet, combined with the fact that Mercury is going through Aries for the whole month of um, April, and Aries is this energy of coming into your power. I mean, that is the high end of what Aries is about. The high end of Aries is where, in a positive way, you become your own leader. Now, I would say, because of the way we're working, it's the inner divine. It's not that you're the dark side of Aries is when your ego becomes your own leader and you just get somebody who's a lunatic narcissist. But that's not the high end of Aries. The high end of Aries is where it's not the ego in control, it's the that divine power. I would call it the divine warrior becomes your inner guide. And this whole stretch between now and the end of April is like a wide open invitation to access that inner divine warrior. That's what it is. So the work that we've been doing for the last couple calls about removing cords, I suddenly realized this morning, it's like, yes, that's a part of the story. But the reason the cord work is so powerful isn't because the whole issue is only about cords. It's because the cords that attach, these psychic cords that attach to other people and to all these, you know, places that I was just mentioning earlier, those cords are what keep anyone from recognizing that the power is on the inside. All of this is that what's happening this month is to try to take you into your freaking power. It's about finding the power from the inside out. And that if you've had a tendency that maybe even this Chiron wound that has been getting activated over these last, couple months here, if you've had a tendency to view things primarily as a victim, primarily as, oh my God, I'm suffering more than anybody, this is terrible, da 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 da. This energy is here to say, what are the concrete actions that can be taken to come back into your power and reclaim, not only reclaim your life, but all this energy of these eclipses would really say, if you want to be useful on the planet for the evolution of the planet, you can't do it without being in your power. So it's not even just you're doing it so that you feel better. You're doing it because you end up carrying a kind of Shakti, a kind of energy that it's the energy that is where the planet wants to head next. That's the beauty of astrology, is it's saying these configurations are showing the the musical score that's ahead of us next. If you think of it, that all of existence is a kind of music, this is the next piece of music, that this divine warrior energy is trying to emerge.